England up here. How's it going? Lots of news breaking today. Let's get to it. Let me make sure we get the chat on a place. We got all live chat. There we go. So if anybody shows up, should be able to see their chat. Welcome back to the program. I know it's unannounced. Apologies for that. They're very difficult to find a spot here. I found a quiet spot last night where I did some work here and did some broadcasting. And tonight it turns into all kinds of noise between the crows and the birds flying overhead, people running vacuum cleaners, construction equipment starting behind me now. It's just bat crap crazy what's going on. How is it that I have no viewers at 35 seconds? There we go. 2 people showing up now. Welcome to the program, folks. Hopefully the word gets out. This is the normal news time. Yeah, anyway, sorry, just checking my mail. I had a message very important there from the States. So lots to talk about here, but I want to get to a little bit bigger audience before we get into this, because just 2 people. That's not a whole lot of folks watching right now. Not that I'm not grateful for both of you, all 4 of you that are here now, but we do want to not have to repeat the news because people tend to show up later on and go, hey, what about this? What about this? I'm like, I've already covered that. I've already covered that. Now somebody wants to start music. It never ends here. It never ends, you know, constant. But I don't know if you guys can hear any of that nonsense. I did the playback last night. I couldn't hear the music, so that was good. But yeah, it's just between whirlpools and vacuum cleaners and everything else going, that's pretty crazy. Only 4 people still here, a minute 29. There's 8 now. Okay, YouTube, a little bit faster. But some really big news out of the United States here, and I'll get started with that now. For those who tune in late, an appeals court today threw out a $500 million judgment against President Trump and his business empire in a sharply splintered ruling that paves the way for further proceedings before New York's highest court. The decision from the 5-judge panel provides a significant legal boost for Trump in the case, which was brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James. And I said that the $500 million bond that she put against him was absolutely bat crap crazy, unjustified, unwarranted, and simply morally wrong. So, see, folks, only 13 people here right now, and 100 and some people at this point already on my stream earlier. I'm beginning to wonder if it's suppression. Am I being suppressed? How do only 13 people show up here? That's just crazy. That's just crazy. So, decision from a 5-judge panel provides significant boost for Trump. The court's disgorgement order, which directs the defendants pay nearly $500 million to the state of New York, is an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the Constitution. Indeed, it does, and that's what I said from the very beginning. It violates the Constitution. You cannot put excessive fines and bails on people. Yeah, I'm not surprised it didn't come through, Conrad, but I'm glad you found me. So, yeah, this I said is violation of the Constitution. That's exactly what it is, a violation of the 8th Amendment of the Constitution, which guards against unreasonable bail, unreasonable bonds, unreasonable fines against citizens of the United States. And the corrupt court in New York actually put a $500 million judgment against Trump. And the reason they picked the $500 million amount wasn't because it was just or tied to anything that made any sense. The only reason they picked that amount was because that's the amount of money that they determined by illegally getting information from bank accounts and from banks who violated the law to tell them how much cash the Trump organization had on hand so that Trump wouldn't have any money to run his campaign to run for president against Joe Biden. And that's why they picked that amount. I said that when they did it. And here you have. So lawyers for Trump in the New York Attorney General's office didn't immediately respond to this. James, a Democrat, sued Trump in September 2022. And of course, she ran for office with one issue. She was going to get Donald Trump. Never accused him of crime, but she was going to get him. That was her basis for running for office. And that's what she did. She said, I'm running for office to get Donald Trump. And that's what she did. She claimed she'd uncovered incredible fraud and illegality. Of course, she didn't uncover anything. She uncovered normal, standard business practices. They took a case in which they claimed the Trump organization overvalued its assets in order to get a loan from Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank is one of the world's largest banks, one of the most successful banks on the planet. They do their own due diligence. It doesn't matter what Trump claimed his stuff was worth. It's what Deutsche Bank valued at. They valued their assets, underlying assets to get the loan. They determined that the loan was in order. The Trump organization made the loan through Deutsche Bank. They made the payments on time. They paid the principal and the interest back. They paid off the loan. There was no crime committed. There was no harm. There was no aggrieved people. But Letitia James, an illegitimate, immoral racist, went after Donald Trump in a fraudulent lawsuit. And this is the basis they're calling him a convicted felon over a violation of the law on the part of the Attorney General. These are people that need to be called out in the public square for their crimes against citizens. And as I said at the time, if they could do this to the former president of the United States, they could do it to anybody. Abusing the law to drive people in bankruptcy, to silence their political opponents. And that's exactly what they tried to do with Trump here. But major victory today for Trump. That means the $500 million will never have to be paid. Thank goodness. It's ridiculous. Her lawsuit claimed that Trump's financial statements systemically overestimated the value of his skyscrapers, his golf course, and other properties to financial statements to lenders. Well, that's not a crime. At worst, it's an error. It's up to the banks who make the loans to do due diligence. Now, if he had overstated the value of his portfolio to hoodwink investors who we wanted to sell bonds to, we might have a legal argument. I mean, if you and I wanted to buy bonds from the Trump organization, with a 9% interest rate on it, and we were willing to pay the 9% because he told us his underlying assets were worth $22 billion, so even if he went bankrupt, we would get our money in a settlement, but it was only worth $2 billion, that would be fraud. That would be fraud, but that's not what happened here. Trump administration valued their assets. They gave that value to Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank's underwriters reviewed the assets, agreed with the value, not the same figure that Trump came out. That's important to know too. They came out with a lower figure, but not ridiculously lower, and they said this is what they're valued at. And so therefore, they went ahead and did their valuation, and they made the loan. There was no crime here. The only crime here is a miscarriage of justice by Letitia James and demonic, racist Democrats in the state of New York. That's the only crime here. Only crime here. And this ridiculous Turkish judge, what the hell are Turkish judges do on the bench in American courts? Unbelievable. Or was he Colombian? I forget. Arthur Engoron ruled in favor of the Attorney General. Engoron, who clashed with Trump and his legal team during the case, also restricted the Trump organization from borrowing money and effectively prohibited Trump's two eldest sons from running the business for 2 years. So they caused the Trump organization's business to stagnate for 2 years. This is a crime in and of itself. There was no justification for that whatsoever. None whatsoever. Wow. Appeals court had previously put those two penalties on hold while Trump challenged the ruling. Trump last year secured a $175 million bond, which relieved him of having to pay the full amount while he appealed the judgment. So he put $175 million of his own money so they didn't have to pay that bond while it was settled. But he had to set aside $175 million. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, it's white privilege, Keith. I've got white privilege because there's no rain here. Of course, I'm one of the few white people in town. I guess we're really favored. Unbelievable. Letitia James began an investigation in 2019 after she became the Attorney General. And this was after Michael Cohen, a convicted fraudster, a felon, said that he had information on Trump. Of course, nothing he says is reliable. He testified before Congress the president inflated his assets in order to obtain financial benefits. She accused Trump of inflating his annual net worth by as much as $3.6 billion. That's funny because Mar-a-Lago alone is worth $1 billion. One single property in his portfolio, his personal residence in Florida, is worth north of $900 million. So how could he possibly inflate his assets by $3.6 billion? That's just insane. She accused him of hiding low appraisals and land use restrictions, relying on dubious investment metrics that even tripled the square footage of his tower complex. Well, again, whatever he claims isn't the question here, unless he tried to sell bonds to investors, which wasn't the case. What happened here is that the Trump administration or Trump organization went to Deutsche Bank to borrow money. They appraised the value of their properties. If they get it wrong, well, that's up to Deutsche Bank to determine. And their underwriters determined what the properties were worth, and they made the loan. And the loan was paid back in full. No muss, no fuss. Where's the harm? Who is harmed by this action? Nobody. No criminal activity here. It's common practice amongst realtors and against developers to do this. But this is a massive victory for Donald Trump today. So he should get his $175 million back. Yep. Yep. So just 3 days ago, they said the court is split, leaves the Trump civil fraud case stuck in slow lane. Well, but now here 3 days later, and the decision's been reached. And this $500 million judgment against Trump is set aside. It's unreasonable. It violates the Eighth Amendment. I said it from the very beginning. Absolute ridiculous nonsense. Ridiculous nonsense. How they even try to pull this crap. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So in other news, scrambling for something to report on, Carol Payton from Cockprot 24 does a story about Josh Museveni. Josh, we know, of course. Josh is going to be a guest in my program, probably while I'm here in the UK. I'm working on that. We're having him coming up. But he said, this is so obvious. Which ANC leaders will be targeted for sanctions, says U.S. bill champion. Now, Josh is not a member of Congress, so I don't know what she means by bill champions. Maybe she means somebody that supports the bill. Josh Survey, U.S. think tank fellow and champion of the bill proposing targeting sanctions, says the Sando Commission provides easy, ready-to-use evidence. Solidarity, the trade union, believes that those who sing Kill the Boer will be first in line. What the hell is going on down here? Park your damn car, man. Jeez. This guy doesn't know how to drive. You better not back into my rental car. Oh my gosh. Some Asian dude doesn't know how to drive. He drove down the street you're not allowed to park in, and now he's stuck. There's nowhere to turn around. And unfortunately, my car is right behind where he's backing up at, so I got to keep an eye out here. Sorry about that, folks. I can't afford to pay for a rental car. Oh my gosh. Well, he's overly cautious. I'll give him that. Thankfully for that. So I don't think he's going to hit me, but I'm still keeping an eye on this, guys. He's going like 5 centimeters at a time. I keep hearing the gravel back there. Okay, should be able to make it now. Something tells me he won't. No, he didn't. 5 centimeters pulled back. Okay, surely you're going to make it now. Come on, buddy. Oh my gosh. Okay, he got turned around. Wow, can you believe that? Chairman of MTM, the deals with the Taliban. Yeah, oh my goodness gracious, folks. Look, I haven't talked about that story. I made a video about Kleinfontain. I just about finished it. I was editing it. Unfortunately, now nobody's here. With these kids right here screaming when I was making the video, there were crows flying overhead with bread, fighting with each other. Everything was going on except the music. Now all of it's the vacuum going on in the place next door. It was so noisy, and you hear the kids in the video. Now the kids aren't here. The crows are gone. The vacuuming stopped, but the guy's singing down there. So, but I made the video on Kleinfontain. I'm going to edit that and publish it when I'm done with this broadcast. And I've got a few more videos I'm going to put out as well. But yeah, the U.S., this MTN thing, this is getting worse now. Now, folks, I don't like reporting on rumor and innuendo, but the number of rumors and innuendo just keep piling up. The supposition keeps piling up. Was MTN actually involved with the Taliban in Afghanistan, shutting down the network so that NATO and others couldn't use the network so the Taliban could escape? What the hell? Is Cyril Ramaphosa responsible for this? Is Nkabisi Jonas responsible for this? There is a lot of smoke here, folks. If there's no fire, then this is an amazing, strange coincidence. And there's more remote places. Folks have regularly back up country roads, the passing place. Oh, yeah, I can attest to that, Keith. Yeah, I see they amended the original summons to investigate MTN. Yep, it's getting crazy. MTN is in deep crap, as is Nkabisi Jonas and potentially Cyril Ramaphosa as well. Things are getting pretty nasty here. Folks, I mean, is there truth? Can we actually believe that the ANC is involved with terrorists? Is that really what's going on here? I mean, honestly, is the ANC involved with terrorists? I mean, that's the bottom line here. That's the question. So we are at a night owl's level of participation here for this viewership, not a normal. Normally we have here 700 to 1,300 people for this stream. I'm on time. I made on time today, guys. Went out of my way to be here on time, and only a handful of people showed up. But I thank you for the 191 people currently here. Yeah, the news is pretty scary, Sue Marie. It really is. But let me get back to Josh Museveni here. So this is what the Cockprod 24 has to say. A senior fellow at the Hudson Institute, a conservative think tank in D.C., has been leading voice in the campaign for targeting sanctions under the Magnitsky Act of 2009. And lobbying groups such as Solidarity and Africa Forum have been publicly endorsing the proposal. Other South African groups in the U.S. are known to have encouraged the idea behind closed doors. The Zondo Commission named names, for instance, so you could almost throw a dart, and whichever ANC officials you hit with the dart, you could sanction them with very little work involved because the corruption is so well documented and so obvious. Indeed. 95 prominent members of the ANC were named in the Zondo Commission report. None have faced legal consequences, and many of them held on to senior positions in the ANC and the government. At a recent ANC press briefing, the party's Secretary General Fikile Mbalula dared the U.S. to sanction South African leaders, saying that South Africa would not change its transformation policies. So Fikile Mbalula says, we will be racist till the cows come home. We will be racist until the rapture. It doesn't matter what the U.S. does. We will be racist. We are the ANC. It's in our DNA. We will be racist. We are a revenge-oriented party. We seek vengeance, and that's why we exist. That's basically what he said, right? I mean, when you boil it down, that's pretty much what he said. Neither the government nor the ANC is placing high likelihood that sanctions will materialize given the record of similar bills that failed. See, there's a difference here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a difference here. Similar bills, there's only been one similar bill, and that was last year. It was a bipartisan effort in the House of Legislature in February 2024, which I've reported on endlessly, to get a review of the relationship with South Africa with an eye towards sanctioning senior leaders of the ANC. That was before the GNU. The new bill by Ronnie Jackson is supported by the former personal physician of the president. Ronnie Jackson has Donald Trump's ear, ladies and gentlemen. Ronnie Jackson has Donald Trump's ear. Now, I was skeptical the bill would go anywhere until it got on the floor. It left committee rather quickly. February it was proposed, or March it was proposed this year, and it's already on the floor of the House. The House is controlled by the Republicans. That doesn't change till next year. They can vote on that at any time. It goes to the Senate. The Senate's controlled by the Republicans. Now, whether they're able to avoid a filibuster or not is the question. And then once it's signed by them, it goes to the president. So this whistling past the cemetery approach of the ANC thinking nothing will happen is wishful thinking on their part. But I'm telling you, the fact that it made it to the floor of the House and it went with 19-4 was the vote. 19-4. Democrats voted to put this thing on the floor. South Africa's in trouble. It's in deep kimchi. And notwithstanding the garbage that came out of the EFF today, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later on, notwithstanding that garbage where they're whining, and first off, sorry, somebody having a conversation, very distracting, all these people popping around. There is no quiet place in the UK. I can get on the highest peak in this country and the people showing up and opening up a tin and pouring tea. You know, it's insane. You can have no privacy in this country, none whatsoever. It's like living in a soapbox. It's like Japan. It's really gotten out of control. Too many people here now. Anyway. Now, Josh has met with most of the South African delegations, been through D.C. the past year, shares this view dominant in President Trump's cabinet that South Africa should be punished for its foreign policy positions, human rights abuses, and the failure to act against corruption. In an interview on Monday, Museveni said that although targeted, sucks, I was going to interview him. Now that Cockprat 24 got to interview him, or did somebody else interview him? I was going to interview him, but we couldn't. He missed my email, and he just got back with me just before I flew. They bought the wrong ID card machine. I'm not surprised. They're morons. This is what happens when you have inept gators running your country. More people wandering around out here now. Anyway, in Zimbabwe, where targeted sanctions have been in place since 2000, research by the ISS found that numerous international banks cut ties to Zimbabwe because of the owner's task complying with U.S. regulations. Investors in Europe, Canada, and U.S. were put off by high risk. Well, yes, Zimbabwe is high risk. They had an indigenization law which forced you to give up your equity to people who are black. Not Zimbabweans, but black Zimbabweans. I mean, you have other Zimbabweans there. You have the San. You have white Zimbabweans. You have Indian Zimbabweans, but you weren't allowed to give your equity to them. You had to give it to black Zimbabweans. Talk about a racist law. Why? That's why. So the ISS can do all the research they want. It's a reliable institution, but that's incomplete research when you don't factor in the fact that the indigenization law is what pushed people to not want to invest in Zimbabwe. People don't want to invest there because they didn't want to put their money at risk if it's going to be stolen from them. The same thing in South Africa. Why would Starlink apply for an ICAS license to operate in South Africa when it has to give 30% of its equity to people based on skin pigmentation? Hey, Lord Skoy, thank you for the 100 Rand super chat. Get some coffee. I could use some coffee. All these distractions that are really annoying. Last night was just the music. Tonight's people walking up and down the stairs. It's music playing down here. Anyway, people having conversations. Hard to focus. So now we're up 277. That's a little bit better. Thank you, guys. People are finding the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. Only 154 if you've done that. Anyway, he hosted Emma Powell and Andrew Whitfield in February when they were there. He's met with other prominent business people, Solidarity delegates, Minister of Trade and Industry, Parks Tao, and Minister of International Cooperation, Ronnie Lamola. So members of the government, members not in the government, people in civil society, yep. The Hudson Institute is a regular report, a call for anyone wanting to get insight into Washington politics. And it's all past attempts. So several attempts made to pass similar legislation but failed. Many bills that pass through the House do not become law because the volume of legislation competing in time in the House. That's true. Word to find its way to the floor. Both South African diplomatic sources say Museveni believed, and Museveni said it would pass. But it's onto the floor, so I don't. What do you mean if it finds its way? It's on the floor, cockprot. Carol Payton, the bill's on the floor. It came out of committee. I don't know what you're talking about here. Several other Democrats in the committee, led by elite ranking member Gregory Meeks, mounted a spirited defense of dispelling the allegations. Several members of a 23-member committee, 19 voted in favor of putting it on the floor. 4, that's not several. 1, 2 is a couple, 3 is a few, 4 is some. Several is not 4. Several is not 4. That is some. Wow. The events of last week and comments of the head of the army, General Mapwanye, in Iran, have raised the chance South Africa issue could be elevated. Yes, indeed. Own goals by South Africa. Fikile Mabulula saying, bring on the sanctions. Gwede Mantashe saying, give us the money or we'll give you the minerals. You know, this stupidity of idiot people elevated well beyond their competence level in governance and business. They shouldn't be there. They're not bright. They're not bright. They're not bright. Ramapoloni. Yeah, MTN and if the president of South Africa is implicated in terrorism in Iran and funding and supporting the Taliban there, it is game over for South Africa. You will feel a world of hurt you have never expected in your life. Sanctions, man, it's not going to be an embargo, but it's going to be everything short of an embargo of your ports. Oh my goodness. Well, an embargo, everything short of a blockade. Everything short of a blockade is coming South Africa's way if Ramaphosa was involved in this. Yeah, I know. I reported on that. I was on the Truth Report today. For those who didn't see it, let me see if anybody went. I was the first one to actually view it. I was like, where the hell is this report? I gave it to him 2 days ago for the Truth Report, and it hadn't shown up yet. So I went on Truth Report earlier when I was eating, and it was like it had premiered 49 seconds before I went to it. So let me get to the Truth Report. And anyway, so let me see how many people watch it. Probably not that many. 2,600 views. Yeah, insubordination. That's my video. Who is the chief of the defense force went to Iran on a security cooperation visit and played the role of diplomat or foreign minister or head of the republic, none of which is actually his role. As a military officer, his responsibility falls within the lanes of defense and security, not with the things he talked about. There he expressed solidarity with the Iranian government and his pro-terror positions. He also expressed disdain for Israel and for the United States. So yeah, so I did that. That showed up on the Truth Report. Now, never mind that this complicates matters. Brandisher, wish to know that you and your channel would have been fabulous to met you in Cape Town. Well, Brandisher, that's my 5th trip to South Africa in 2 years. 5th trip, and yeah, well, 2.5 years. Yeah, I'll be back provided I'm not blocked from coming to the country. I'm glad you watched it, Lynette. Yep, I made that for the Truth Report. It's only got 2,000 plus views. A little disappointing. 2,700. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, the ANC got caught. They got caught. That's the bottom line here. They got caught. But yeah, so I did that. So a lot of people like, Chris, you've disappeared. No, guys, I've done shorts. I've done live streams from here. I've done prepared videos. I've put a video on my original channel about the house and its actions. Hello. Hello. Yeah. So yeah, I've been inside. I also did this report for the Truth Report. I also got a report. Are you looking for the Berry Boutique? Yeah. You found it.
Okay, thank you so much.
But you have to go through the lounge here. Turn right, turn a hard left, go to the front door. There's a key box there. Okay. If you got your email, it'll tell you the code so you can get your key.
Thank you, sir.
You're not bothering me. I get paid the same, nothing. I'm just broadcasting, and it's a small audience today, only 300 people. Usually it's about 1,500, so. Yeah, they didn't know I was going live. They're all hiding. So other guests here at the place. So anyway, sorry guys, distracted there for a moment, trying to help people find their way in. Anyway, so let me see. Okay, all right, just double checking. 299, sorry, 309 now, 309. Okay, just having fun with the guests. So anyway, yeah. So, and I did the Truth Report video too. So I've been doing quite, yeah, I'm the concierge here. That's right. I'm the night watchman. I'm the night watchman. Whenever anyone refers to GNU, they fuel the mass mind because it's, let me see, well, now we know where you are. Yes, you do, Arctic, and I'll be out here in a few hours. Hello, Sumeri. How's it going? How's it going? So I've outed myself. I've doxed myself. I doxed myself, folks. You don't know where I'll be tomorrow, though, do you? You know I'll be in Sunderland. 20 pounds for Heinrich Landsberg, and it's pounds. Thank you for what you do. Humbly apologize for things I've said in the past. Criticize my opinion of you have changed. Welcome, UK. Well, Heinrich Landsberg, I have no idea what you said to me in the past, and why did you say those things, and why did you make an assumption that I did something wrong? See, lots of people see tiny little fragments, and then they just go off that. You know, it's so the fact that I'm doing the video in Kleinfontain, I'm probably going to be accused of being a Klan member, a racist, you know, all kinds of stuff. But I consistently stand up for everyone, anyone who's oppressed, anyone who's abused. That's the whole purpose of me serving in uniform, was to ensure that people's constitutional rights were protected, ensure that my nation was protected, ensure that the countries who are friends, partners, and allies were protected, and improve the condition of human existence. That's what I did. It's what I did everywhere. I've never discriminated against anyone who didn't deserve it. Anyway, Hydrus, thank you for the 20 pounds. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. That's real money, man. That almost pays for my lunch today. After the taxes, it doesn't. But yeah, thank you for that. And I don't know what you said about me in the past. I don't recall. Lots of people said nasty things about me and formed wrong opinions of me. You stand up again, Chris. Cloud formations appear at the current. Yeah, no, it's washed out. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I don't want to show the great background. I wanted to show, and I can't put this thing. I only put it so far. and get the trees down so much. Whoops, hang on there. There we go. Hang on. I try to get just a little bit better view here and there, but the trees just aren't quite. There you go. It's the best I can do. I know it's washed out. Sorry about that. Or just bring myself closer. There we go. There we go. But see, that's too much cloud. So try to work with it as best I can. Yanni Boshoff gave a 35 Rand super. Enjoy a Coke. Thank you for that, Yanni. De Mampara. Okay. Yeah, got you there, Beslick. Only clans, not only fans. Hey, CB, what's going on? Yeah, so thank you for that, Heinrich. I appreciate that super chat. It's very kind of you. 20 pounds, that's nice. Very nice. Anyway, so, yeah, look, back to what Heinrich said. I don't know why people, well, I know why people dislike me. Some people just don't like the truth. Heinrich sounds like a legitimate person, but some people just don't like the truth. They can't handle the truth. You know, this isn't A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. That's the problem. So the video I made, and I need to edit, about Kleinfontain, and hopefully the kids aren't making too much noise now. They're gone, of course, ironically, and there's no vacuuming going on over here. But that video, I'm defending the residents of Kleinfontain. Why? Because I'm speaking the truth. You don't have to agree with it. You can disagree with them, but that's no reason to be abusive. And some people are just plain out, downright abusive. It's really a shame. Really a shame. Going to move to Alaska. Why would I move to Alaska? All the people in Alaska are congregated in the same areas. And Heinrich just became a member. Thank you for that too, Heinrich. That's kind of you. Really do appreciate that. Wow, that's nice of you. Okay, cool beans. After I do this live, I'm going to have to see how much data I have, because this is like the 4th live I've done off the data. I wanted to do this rather than the Wi-Fi because I wasn't sure. So anyway, it seems to work pretty well with the data here in this spot. So I wanted to 350 people here now. That's awesome. Thanks, folks. Be sure to hit that like button, though. Just 234 likes. You can do better than that. So yeah, as far as disliking me, whatever. That's but I'm glad the Heinrich. I don't know what Heinrich's beef was with me in the past, so I really can't address it. But I'm glad that whatever it was, he gave it a second look. You know, that happens to a lot of people. You know, I had a guy from Zimbabwe who was pissed off about a video in which I mentioned Zimbabwe, and he's like, well, this, that, and the other. And I said, that's not at all what happened. That's not what I said. Did you watch the video? And he didn't. He admitted he didn't. And he watched the video and he said, oh, you're right. Okay, sorry about it. And he started watching my videos. So, you know, a lot of times people see the title. Sometimes people watch a couple minutes and then they form opinions. You need to watch the things in detail. I think that most of the positions I take, rational, cogent people around the planet, probably have no issue with it. They have no objections to what I have and say. Most people. I mean, I believe in free speech. I believe in freedom of association. I believe in freedom of assembly. I believe in the right to seek redress from your government lawfully. I believe in freedom of worship. I believe in freedom generally, liberty. And I don't believe that anyone should be punished for who they are. It's the actions you take that matter. If you do something inappropriate with your actions, then that's something that needs to be addressed. By the way, I was going to put on my shirt because I have my American Eagle on here, getting all excited about Sydney's jeans. Anyway, but it's the actions that people take. Dr. Martin Luther King, if nothing else, his I Have a Dream speech stands and resonates and stands the test of time. Whether he wrote it or someone else wrote it, as far as I know, he wrote it. But he said, I have a dream that one day my little children will be judged on the content of the character, not the color of their skin. And that's the creed that I go by, judging people on the content of their character. Now, I do judge other cultures. I absolutely do judge other cultures. You will find that I am diametrically opposed to female genital mutilation. You will find that while I respect faiths like Islam, I do not like the term submission. I don't submit to anyone. No one should submit. If you want to submit to your deity, that's your objective. To me, it's a relationship with your deity, not submission. Anyway, so, but yeah, no. Anyway, so enough of that. Done talking about my nonsense. Okay. Mary Roberts Club. Yeah, I heard that was going to happen, Yanni. That's crazy. That's a huge company. No return, heading for fall once it's all broken. Yeah, no, South Africa will just be a disaster. Eli Berserker, yes, I've made a video on that. It's here. I'll give you a little foretaste of it if you can hear it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I moved it over to here. Nope. It's going to be here. There we go. Let me see. No, it's this file. So it'll be this one here. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is Chris in the Lake District of England. The city of Schwane is threatening to demolish the whites-only settlement of Kleinfontain in Pretoria.
Anyway, that's it. So I'm working on that. So we'll get to that. Ludwig, thank you for your membership. Is that Kipper? You're welcome. Yeah, UK is expensive, Heinrich. Yep, it really is, man. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, £5 for a frickin' Burger King burger at a roadside rest stop. And what's the problem with UK? Why can't they make lay-bys? Why can't you have a lay-by? Just pull over, relax, picnic table, toilets. No. You got to go to the places, these nasty, roadside rest stops. You can't have a nice one here. I mean, I haven't seen any lay-bys. I mean, thought they used to have lay-bys. They have them on secondary roads. You can find them there, but anyway. My day was okay, Michelle. I got up a little bit late. Did the boat cruise. For those who missed it, we did a live stream off the boat earlier. It was pretty good. Can I imagine what families of fallen soldiers have gone through with this MTN scandal breaking? Oh, yeah. Poundland, do what you noted was a substandard glass bottle of Starbucks along with sandwich and snack for £3. Oh, I know Poundland, Keith. I know Poundland. Yeah, I've used Poundland in the past. I got a SIM card from there once upon a time, a long time ago. James is a bit late. Good evening. Welcome to you. Dirk, CB. There was a young white boy of 14 who was brutally attacked in his home when he got home from school. Wondered when his mom found him barely alive. Oh my gosh, I didn't hear about this. No, free speech in South Africa is only for the privileged. If you're Nota Beloye, if you're Nobs and Keezy, if you are, what's that clown from Pretoria there? Radube, what's his name? Hang on a second here. I know what his name is. In fact, I wrote it down earlier because I can't remember it. There he is. Yeah, Obakeng Ramabodu. You can say he wants the blood of an Afrikaner. He wants the Moor Boer. Remember that racist rant from last year? Nothing happened to that guy. Nothing. You have good genes. I do have good genes. Very good genes. That's why this is still here and it's all thick, man. It's all natural. Yes. We have the freedom to be who we are no matter what others think. Exactly, expat family Joubert. Pledge memberships. Okay. Colonel, you're going to watch the rugby? I noticed Becky and old Nancy cronies sitting in the corner last week. Russell, no. I will be at a game when the rugby comes on tomorrow. I'll try to keep up on my phone, but I will be at a game in York for the Women's Rugby World Cup, so I won't see the game tomorrow. What's happening with MTN? I can't help but wonder if there indeed credence to the accusation is. Well, now I'm starting to wonder, Danielle. I mean, it seems to me implausible that Hamas would inform the ANC why. It doesn't make any sense. And that was my argument with the limited information. But the thing is, people are like, oh, but if you change. No, you don't change. Sometimes information changes and you have to adjust with it. And now I'm starting to shake my head too. Maybe they did know. Hey, Kathy. Oh, it's okay if you missed the boat ride, Kathy, but I'm glad you caught it afterwards. Pretty cool, huh? One should never judge the book by its cover, but by the content. Started watching a few months ago and never felt like you were not fair and just. Well, thank you, expat family Joubert. No, I am fair and just with everyone. Now, if people are disrespectful and rude to me, different story. I don't eat mushy peas. Sorry, Dirk. Don't eat that crap. That's for Brits. Yeah, it was a nice view of the Lake Raven. Glad you enjoyed it. Did you confirm Amerikaners are now doing their first calls? I've already answered this question. That's crazy. I answer this question as best I can without further information. I need more information, information from the U.S. government to confirm this. What I can tell you is they do not have a contract and that apparently they're doing some volunteer work. But I got people running around sending me rumors. Oh, they're getting paid $1,000 for every applicant, I was told. Where do you get this information from? Who tells you these things, guys? I got people sending me that information. And I'm like, if anyone tells you that it costs $1,000 to apply or to put the statement interested to be processed as a refugee, they're a liar. It costs nothing. Under the law, it costs nothing, and it won't change. Doesn't matter who the president is. It won't change. Isn't going to happen. They have to change the law in order to charge you. And then someone got back to me and said, no, that's what they're paying the people who are processing. Well, what do you care? Let me ask you this question. What do you care what they might be paying someone who's processing this stuff? You shouldn't care anything. You're not paying for it. I'm paying for it. I should care. As an American taxpayer, I'm the one that funds that. So it should be a concern for me that it pays somebody $1,000 per refugee. We pay a hell of a lot more than $1,000 per refugee. Trust me. That's a drop in the bucket. $1,000? That's nothing. The flights alone, which we're currently paying for South Africa, cost us $1,500 per person minimum on average. Yeah. Because remember, they fly to Atlanta or to D.C., and then from there they fly wherever they're going, to Idaho or Wyoming or Mississippi or California or wherever they're going, they fly there. So that's another flight. And if they've got 5 kids, that's 7 people. $1,500 a person. So $1,000, it's nothing. Who cares about that? That means nothing. Oh, somebody gifted you membership cost at Chameleon. Good to see. Antonette's a true philanthropist. Well, the amount of time I give to people, I guess you can make the argument I am. Marola Media, the attackers tied up the gardener with cable ties and was waiting outside the house, and the boy came. So the boy was targeted, ostensibly because he was white, or was there something going on at the school that we don't know about? So Marola Media. Well, that means it's going to be an offer cons. Marola Media. Let me go there. What's the title of it? Kleinfontain is the top story there. I don't see anything there, so I'll have to find it later on. You have more hair than I do, and I'm quite envious, says Caustic Chameleon. Well, new racist rant doing the rounds of social media calling for killing white people. I've seen a video, but not a rant. Is that the one? Poor Renault had to pay for his K word. Rama thinks because he's president, he may... What did he say, the K word? What the hell's going on? Oh my God, another one came down here, traveling illegally down the street. What is it? Today, no one came down the yesterday. Start a bri, and you'll see Sapphists. Yeah, that's true. The hip's all right. The anti-inflammatory seems to be helping a lot. On A roads where trucks travel, they're often both truckers' cafe. Yeah, no, that's not the motorway. That's the secondary roads. Yep. Yep, that's correct. But they don't seem to be on the highways. It's just the petrol stations. Goodyear factory closing down. Oh, so another thing, the Goodyear factory shutting down. Peter Schultz, thank you for your membership. We're still on this issue. Which issue is that, Super D? I just talked about 4 different things. What issue are you talking about? We talked about Kleinfontain. We talked about the kid being beaten up. We talked about Josh Mercevany. We talked about MTN. We talked about a bunch of issues here. Which issue are you talking about? Which issue are you concerned we're still on? All the $1,000. And we also talked about, I just wanted to know if it was confirmed that they announced. What I've confirmed is what I've said, and I put a video out there, folks. I wish people watch the videos I put out. I confirmed that I'm aware that they've offered to do screening to help out the embassy, but they're not getting paid for it. They have to have a contract for that. Wouter, 200 pounds. Thank you. By the way, just like the people are freaked out over the Kenyans, who are the Kenyans to decide? If the Amerikaners are involved, they're not deciding anything. They're not deciding anything. They don't decide anything. All they do is screen people and pass the information on to the people who are supposed to get it. That's it. And oh, by the way, if you think there's no quality control, let's say we give a group, let's call it the Wyatt Army. The Wyatt Army gets asked, we volunteer. I put 100 people together. The Wyatt Army volunteers to screen for the U.S. State Department. It's highly unusual, but not uncalled for, not unprecedented. So 100 people. All right. So they send us a list of names with phone numbers. We're supposed to call them, confirm they're South African citizens, confirm that they're Afrikaner or a racial minority, confirm they've been a victim of past racial discrimination, or that they fear legitimate future persecution. Tell us briefly why you believe that's the case. We put that in the computer, we push go. Now, if you think there's no quality control, good Lord, damn birds are back again. Alfred Hitchcock. If you think there's no quality control, there isn't somebody going, okay, wait, we gave the Wyatt Army 50 names last week, we've only gotten 6 back. What's going on? Guys, if you think there's no quality control. Also, these people have, oh my goodness, I need a shotgun. I really need a shotgun. If I had a shotgun, I could take out so many birds right now. This is UK, you can't have shotguns, can you? Yeah, a lot of things are said there, but all I know is what I've told you. And I can't confirm anything else, guys. So, I mean, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. I mean, nothing you tell them is going to prevent you from going unless you have no legitimate basis for it. Say you're an ANC caterer and you're just simply trying to cause trouble. But if you're a legitimate candidate, nothing's going to cause you from going, so I wouldn't worry about it. What happened? Oh, it happened in Wonder Woman. Okay. Racist rant, some black guy. Yeah, I saw that, but I need the original. Somebody send me the original. It was on X. I don't know if it came from TikTok, but it was on X. I can't find it on X. Jan van Riebeck or somebody like that posted, but people keep sending me videos. Guys, I appreciate you sending me videos of what Willem Petzer does, what others do, but I can't use their content, and I'm not going to copy them. I have to come up with a different, analysis or angle. Otherwise, I'm just, being redundant. Goodyear Tires already shut their doors last Friday. 1,000 jobs. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, the issue of, yeah, well, we don't know. Okay, thank you, Super D. We don't know that people pay for it. One of the people told me that it cost $1,000, but the problem is, and look, this isn't just South Africans. This is Americans too. The problem is that people are never concise. They give you partial stories, partial truths, partial information. And it's not an act of commission, it's an act of omission, oftentimes not intentional. But it's in your head, guys. The fact that you know what you're talking about doesn't mean when you put 4 words in a sentence that I know what you're talking about, what you're referring to. And that's the problem. It's like milking a goat. Trying to get a little bit of squeeze here, a little bit of squeeze there. It's very time consuming doing this. And people do this to me on WhatsApp. They do it emails. After I write back, go, I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about? And I can say, is this what you're getting at? But I don't know. Yeah, he's a douchebag down the car. Yes, and Luna says the Kenyans were really nice and understanding. And that's been every single person who's contacted me who has been in touch with RSC, the Kenyans, has said the exact same thing. Very friendly, very polite, very understanding, very helpful. This one off where we saw somebody saying that they laughed at them because they were white. Again, there's people on the right wing who don't want you to go for some stupid reason. Off to Pretoria next week for our interviews. Well, congratulations. Yeah, that's the video, James. Well, it's working, but I haven't also been overworking the hip. But I was to the point where I'm just sitting like this. I would be in agony, just in pain. But now it's not the case. It's Afrikaans. But what's the title? What's the title in Afrikaans? I got Indie News. I got Staatsrand die Nuwe Aansoek 10 Kleinfontain in. Okay. And then KSA Kondigplanne von Rand verrassend. So about the Rand Minderjarige DA Hartspraak Mackenzie. There's no, okay, I got to see all the stories. Seen alle stories. Okay, James Dobson. Uganda. Anja Mocheka. The Rand. No, that's a rugby player. That's not it. Guys, I don't see it. What's the title? Mackenzie. There's nothing here on the front page of Morella Media. Okay, thank you. There's the title. Okay, do they have a search button? Because it's not showing up. Okay, thank you. Snuffle. Okay, so Rovers. For Fall. Tiener. Twice. Search button doesn't work very fast. There it is. Got it. Oh my goodness. Bloody t-shirt. It's today too. Oh my God. Look at his head. Oh my God. Luan Kombrick. Oh my God. What the hell is wrong with people? Great, now the sun comes out at night. All day long you've been hiding, except for 10 minutes on the ship. Let's turn this way a little bit. Is that a little better? My goodness. Man, now the sun's out. Bright as freaking anything. I can't see anything now. Thank you, Basilisk, for your membership. 50 cal. Yeah, 50 cal would be great. Flying rats. Yeah, exactly. I know it's not Texas, no guns. Sorry, guys, I was talking about the live stream, not refugee. I wish for that every moment of the day. Oh, my goodness. Oh, seriously? The sky is full of clouds except the one spot where the sun is at, of course. And now it's beating down on me. Oh, by the way, I've got a friend with me here, folks. Let me catch up on the chat, and I'll tell you about my friend. Oh, a lot of the white people are leftists in South Africa who are in the media. Congratulations to your son. Yeah, the MTN case is old. It's just coming. Hey, Chris, how's it going? It's just coming to the top now. It's boiling to the top. Oh my gosh, that sun is horrible. I'm way behind this chat. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up. I found the title. Thank you guys for the title of the story. Oh my goodness. Old soul is bug. Yeah, you know, guys, I don't like the sun. First off, I'm taking doxycycline, which makes you very susceptible. I'm already very susceptible because I'm pink to the sun. Never liked it. I'm a Viking. You know, we raid when the storms are coming. Anyway, I have a friend. So I'm in Windermere, which is near the location where Beatrix Potter used to live, had her little farm. Of course, Beatrix Potter is well known for the Peter Rabbit stories. So I picked up a new friend to hang out with the Bugger Off Bunny. Since I don't have the Bugger Off Bunny, I picked up another rabbit. So Peter Rabbit's going to be the Bugger Off Bunny for the rest of this trip. So instead of giving him his thing, I guess he can give his middle finger by doing this. Lift it up like that. Lift up his paw there. Give you the middle finger. There you go. So here's your Bugger Off Bunny from the UK. Peter Rabbit. Yes, Peter Rabbit. There you go. Peter Rabbit. So he's my new Bugger Off Bunny friend for this trip, since I left the Bugger Off Bunny at home. It's a UK Bugger Off Bunny, Peter Rabbit. Oh yeah, Beatrix Potter. So I went to the experience today, checked it out. It was okay. Did a little about a fridge mag. People don't seem to have any lapel pins. I don't know why. You can get them in the UK. I did find a lapel pin eventually. But yeah, I was trying to find one for Windermere for the Lakes region, but couldn't find one. But I did find one for Peter Rabbit, so I got a lapel pin. Where's your sunnies? In the car. I'm not looking at the sun, so they're in the car. And if I put them on, I can't read the text. Well, of course he has an accent. He's an English hare. Yes. He's got an English accent. The clouds are coming back. Temperatures drop by about 10 degrees. Right-wing rabbit. He's a rabbit. Peter Rabbit. He is my Bugger Off Bunny friend. He got a little bushy tail in the back there, too. Check it out. Peter Rabbit. So there you go. Anyway, he's my Bugger Off Bunny pal for this trip. So thanks for that story. Yeah, so that's helpful. Here come the birds again. So you got this whole thing with the police. Sabia now is going to go to court to have himself reinstated. Inger and Hare. Haha, that's funny. Family's also of Norwegian ancestry. Okay, Andrew. Yeah, no, I've got that too. Ainwick. Where is Ainwick Castle at? Oh, Alnwick? A-L-N? A-L-N Castle? I don't know that. Let me see. Alnwick Castle. Let's see where that's at. Okay. Oh, it's in Alnwick. Where the hell Alnwick is? What's that? Okay, where's the map? There we go. Let me zoom out a little bit, see what that's near. Okay. Oh, no. I'm not going that far north. Nope, I'm just going as far as... Actually, you know what? I might go a little bit north of Carlisle just to see Hadrian's Wall. Let me see how far that distance is there. Yeah. It's not that far from there, Hadrian's Wall. But yeah, no, I'm going over to Sunderland tomorrow for the rugby. So that's a little ways from here. But yeah, that'd be worth the trip. Keswick, yeah. Keswick tomorrow, and then Penrith up to Carlisle and then over. But I might just make a little jaunt to Hadrian's Wall. All these years I've never gone to Hadrian's Wall. I've been to Buckingham Palace many years ago. Love Peter Rabbit. I've crocheted him and all his friends as a gift for my granddaughter. That's awesome, Ingrid. Here today, gone tomorrow. Bob's Power Rules. Beatrix Potter dish that featured Peter Rabbit. Hedgehog was my favorite. I can't think of her name. Oh, I love Peter Rabbit, though. The Bugger Off Bunny won't be impressed with Peter Rabbit. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. You guys are killing it. Meet and greets. I'm not sure about meet and greets. I've had no one express any interest in them other than Keith Alderson and Hendo. And Hendo isn't express interest. It's just assumed Hendo wants to do it. I don't know. I'll consider it. That'd be somewhere in the Midlands. I'm limited on the miles here, how far I can drive. So I have to pick a day, and it have to be a lunchtime sort of thing or something like that. Or mid-afternoon, after lunch. Maybe that'd be the answer. Let me see. I mean, we could do a meet and greet. Let me see. Leeds, we could do one maybe. Maybe Doncaster. Let's see what else we got here. What else? Lincoln, if necessary. I don't think anybody lives in any of these places. Manchester is just I don't know if I go to Manchester because you got to go to the hills to get there. I'm trying to stay east of the Peak District. Going through that stuff. Harrogate. I've been to Harrogate before. I know Harrogate very well. Yep, indeed I do. Midlands, 20 miles from Doncaster, says Rihanna. Okay, well, all right. Okay, you got Barnsley. You got Doncaster, you got Rotherham, you got Sheffield. Rotherham is kind of Sheffield's not that great. It's okay. Um, could do one in one of those places if people want to do it. You could do it there. Figure out someplace. So yeah, Midlands 20 miles. It'll be during the week though, because I can't do it on the weekends. I've got the rugby on the weekends. People talk funny in Doncaster. Yeah, what's his name is from there? The singer from what is it from One Direction, whatever. He did the song with Bebe Neuwirth. Bebe Rexha, excuse me, Bebe Rexha. What's his name? What's that guy's name? Back to You is the song. Great song. I love that song. Back to You. Louis Tomlinson. Yeah, that's the guy. Back to You. Louis Tomlinson. Back to You with Bebe Rexha. Yeah, he's from Doncaster. He wears their kit in his video. It's pretty good. Yeah. So we could do some meet and greets in the Midlands and different places if you guys are up for it. Okay. Lock your doors going through Lock your doors going through Doncaster and Sheffield. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, well, Rotherham's the same way if I'm not mistaken. Anyway. Peak District. We can meet in the Peak District if that's not out of the way for people. You do that. That's nice. There's some nice places there. Meet and greet. But Alnwick Castle is the seat of the 12th Duke of Northumberland. Been around for a while. Yeah, Louis Tomlinson. Yeah, that's the one. Back to You with Bebe Rexha. What happened to Liam Payne? He died? Jeremy Clarkson. Well, I mean, I'd like to meet with, what's her name? What's her name? Oh, gosh, today I just can't get names in my head. You guys know what I'm talking about. Katie Hopkins. Katie Hopkins would be great, but I don't know where Katie Hopkins lives. Probably London. Where does she live now? Let's see. Well, she lives in the UK, but no one knows where she's at. Well, yeah, Sheffield is where stainless steel was developed. That's where stainless steel came from, Sheffield. That's why I know what it is. I don't know where Jeremy Clarkson's at. Let me see. Jeremy Clarkson. Where does Jeremy Clarkson? Where does Jeremy Clarkson live? Oxfordshire, in the Cotswolds. Oh, he lives in the Cotswolds. People ask me if I'm going to go to the Cotswolds. I've been all around the Cotswolds, but never really gone through it. At least that I can recall. Ooh, it's getting chilly now. The wind started picking up. The clouds have come back. Oh, he died a year ago. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I've been to Oxford, and I've been to Cheltenham, so I guess I drove through the Cotswolds, the edge of it, but yeah, I really got through it, yeah, so I guess I've been by there. I drove right through the middle of it, but never really hung out in the Cotswolds, yeah. But I've been down to Gloucester, that's right next to that, Cheltenham, yeah, so I've been that area, been down, Bristol's below that, so, yep. 390 people currently. Pity you are not traveling, otherwise you could have visited Peel Castle. I'm going to put my hoodie on because the temperature just dropped by at least 12 degrees here. 10 to 12 degrees, and the wind picked up. So I'm actually chilly. There you go, folks. You got it first. Chris is chilly. The way things are going, I'll be able to cut glass with my nipples. Whew. And that temperature just dropped all of a sudden. That's the first time I've been chilly since I've been here. Ooh, baby. Whew. Chilly, 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 chilly. That's better. Oof. Man, isn't Sheffield where some of the bleak people? I have no idea where they filmed. Just finished watching Clarkson's farm yesterday. Fell over a balcony and oh yeah, I vaguely remember that, Lenny. Yeah, it's a new pub at his farm. Clarkson's farm stall is pretty good. Mates of mine. Okay, where is it in the Cotswolds? Yeah, no, it's a good quality. I'm sure it's made in Asia somewhere, but let's take a look and see what it says. Made in Vietnam. Yeah, made in Vietnam. Peter Rabbit. It's my new bugger up bunny friend. Anyway. Going to South Wales. No, I don't plan on. No, I don't plan on. No, guys, I've got a very specific area I'm operating in. Most of the games are in the Midlands. I'm going to. The furthest one up is Sunderland. The furthest down is in Exeter, which is quite far, but that's where the quarterfinals are. So I'm going down on a Friday and Saturday for quarterfinals towards the end of my trip. But before that, I've got a bunch of games, especially a lot in York. I've been to that stadium at York for the Rugby League World Cup, which is pretty cool. It's a nice spot. It's at a shopping mall. There's a stadium right there on the northwest corner of York. So you're out of town, so you stay out of the traffic, which is nice. Yeah. So, yeah. But I'm just here because the first game is over in, I had actually not gone here. So, let me see this. Hadrian's Wall. Is that where the wall's actually at? Check that out. So, yeah, okay, interesting. Where's that at? Doesn't tell me where. Explore the ruins. Halstead's Roman Fort, Hadrian's Wall. Prices, opening times, Roman Fort. Okay, advanced booking. Do you have to have advanced booking? You buy a ticket, yeah, which you'll pay full price. Well, as if there's a big savings. So they're open from 10 to 5. Okay. 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 Ooh, on the day ticket's a little pricier. But I don't know, I'm going to stop there, so. All right. I have to check that out. So, Hadrian's Wall. I've never, all the years I've been here and I've gone to Scotland back and forth, I've never gone to Hadrian's Wall. At least I don't recall having gone to it. Maybe I did a different life, I don't remember. And for those who don't know, Hadrian's Wall is one of the Roman emperors, and his wall is part of a confab of a bunch of walls that were put up to keep the barbarians, the Picts and the Celti out, the Scots out from England. Why is that? I just fix this now. Okay, that's on now. So anyway, yeah, so we did all right earlier. I mean, I had a few hundred people show up during the live stream. We have 2,600. I've lost 3 subscribers. This doesn't make any sense. So I did a video earlier in which I was on the lake. And I didn't talk about politics. I didn't talk about race. I didn't talk about anything. All I did was show people the lake. And it says I lost 3 subscribers. I'm not making this up, guys. Check this out. Minus 3 subscribers. What the hell is that? I mean, what the hell is that nonsense? That's just insane. So I played a video of me on the lake and showing people a live stream of the lake, and I lost 3 subscribers. What is that all about? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Hang on a second. This thing is not playing nice. I mean, that's just crazy. Why would I lose subscribers on that video? And I get lose on some. I think YouTube is playing games with me again here, folks. That doesn't make any sense. Let's see if I've lost subscribers on my last one before I did that. I gained 1 in the previous live stream from last night. And the previous one I did, which was in the gardens, let's see, that one had 6,500 people tuning for that. And I lost a subscriber. What the hell? What's going on? How am I losing subscribers on live stream? Unless they're just trolls that are trying to tune in to see what's going on. That could be it. It could be the trolls are tuning in just to see what's going on, and then they drop off afterwards because they want to chat. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Who knows? But the video I did about News 24 and apology, the fake apology to Ronaldo, that's not doing very well either. So really down on YouTube viewership. These streams here are usually 800 to 1,300 people. My videos are usually 50,000 or more, but the last 4 are 16,900, 19,000, 19,000, and 8,000. Wow. That's crazy. And it's saying I'm losing viewers, but I've gained 15 viewers since I started this stream. YouTube. Go figure, YouTube. Anyway, I've given up trying to figure out this platform. I'm just grateful I got the 100,000. Since it seems like everybody's getting 100,000 these days, I wouldn't want to be left behind. It would be a drag. But we definitely have had a low run of things. 32,000, 31,000, 34,000, and yesterday 44,000. It's really been a drop-off in viewership, a massive drop-off. Yep. So what have you done for me lately thing is what YouTube is. It definitely is. Okay. Oh, they're back. Crows are back. These aren't ravens. The same two birds were here yesterday. They love that spot. Scraggy little buggers. Anyway, they're up there on the tree above me, so they're not the roof above me. Unpredictable England yet. Chile's on a different continent. The Viking almost came frozen. Yeah, exactly. Tom Smith. Oh, you don't want to come to the UK. this would be the ice planet Hoth if it wasn't for the Gulf Stream. It would be cold here all the time if it wasn't for the Gulf Stream. Diddly squat. Oh, Heinrich sent me an email explaining his apology. Okay, Heinrich, thank you for that apology. I mean, if it was necessary, if you felt necessary, I appreciate it. Hey, hopefully I didn't respond in anger and lightning and fire and brimstone. It's something you said. If I did, then I'll apologize unless it was warranted. Did anyone see the leaked tapes where Rama wants to censor any nativity of the NC? We have people watching you that want to go after. No, I haven't seen that. Forest of Bowling. I won't be going back through Lancaster, Keith. Won't be going through Lancaster. I'm going east from here and then back down through the middle. So back towards Leeds. I go to York and then down towards Leeds. Yeah. Yeah. So how far does the NC rabbit hole go? Well, apparently quite a ways. England looks depressive. The Truth Channel. Hello to you. Miss D. No, not the whole World Cup, Mr. T. I can't be here the whole time. I've got to film a documentary with a South African producer in the States at the end of September, so I need to be back in the States for that. And then in October, I've got consulting going on. So yeah, I can't to be here the whole time. So anyway, all right. So yeah, I'm here for the quarterfinals, and that's it. The Traw of Bowling, okay. Stall is called Diddly Squat. Chadlington. Okay. Thank you for that. Let me go look for that. I've never heard. There's towns in the UK I've never heard of. Chadlington. Village in England. They say Chadlington, Jeremy Clarkson. Okay. Okay. Loading up that. See where it's at here. Oh, that is tiny. All right, that's the north side of the Cotswolds. I've never, I've not been there. Yeah, it's northwest of Oxford. Yeah, Chadlington. Blenheim Palace. I think I've been to Blenheim Palace before. Another one came down the street that's not allowed to drive down there. 38, wow. Okay, Brancher, so you got to go. Live on the Lakes was fantastic. Yeah, but I lost 3 subscribers. 3 morons lost in the water. Yeah, come on, Colonel. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Oh, they drowned. So I lost 3 subscribers because they drowned. They didn't have life jackets. I was one of them. Francois. Oh, my goodness. Rogue unsubscriber bots. Sycamore Gap Tree. Yeah, I did hear about that. And Ingrid says, people on subscribing channel are losing out big time. Well, I agree. Refresh your page, Nix. Amazing if you went on Steve Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. It's a bit woke, but he's interviewed. I don't know who that is. Stephen Bartlett. Okay. Let me look that up. British entrepreneur and podcaster. British businessman. He's from Botswana. 32 years old. The Irish CEO. He's from Habaroni. But he's not a Botswana. His father's English, his mother's Nigerian. I was going to say, he doesn't look like a Botswana. A Botswana. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. 4 years ago, we made $1.2 million a year from Diary CEO. Wow, it must be nice. Wow, must be nice. Number 5 on Spotify's most popular. That's definitely not me. I'm not in the top 5 for Spotify. That's for darn sure. Trump brokers peace talks Putin and Zelensky to meet. Okay. Teresa, thank you for the 11 Rand. Depressing weather. Download that video from X, but the sound is behind. Yeah, that's a problem I've noticed. They're messing with people's downloads now. I covered some interesting news today. Not going to the Royal Armory in Leeds. Been there before. Oh, great. Now they're starting up down there again with the noise. Kendall mint cake. No, thank you. James, I do it in South Africa, Botswana, Mozambique, New Zealand, Ireland. I've done it all over the world, so it's not a big thing. Poland is the Texas of Europe. I see they're buying everything U.S. is willing to sell. Hey, Sync Master. It's okay. Very expensive here, though. Very expensive. Yeah, it's pricey. And if it was worth it, it'd be okay, but it's not worth it. The cater had the tender for the life jackets. She's not leaving until September 1st. 3 subscribers. This one is scratched. That's the flush man. Great. I take time out to do a live stream. Okay. Yeah, I know, because they're using bakeries to make their food instead of relying on caterers. So the caterers losing out their tenders. You're late to the game, buddy. It was the first story I led with. We only had 8 people watching the stream. The Trump's that was all thrown out. He won the case. It's a violation of the 8th Amendment of the Constitution. And I said so at the time. I said it's a violation of the Constitution. You can't do that. It's unreasonable. It's just ridiculous. And once again, I brought the case of the guy who defrauded Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff defrauded people billions of dollars. Donald Trump defrauded nobody. Donald Trump made a legitimate loan. He estimated the value of his properties. He presented it to Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank's underwriters looked at it and said, no, we don't agree. It's only worth this much. They made the loan on the basis of that. No one was cheated out of the loan. It was a commercial institution. They got the loan. They paid the payments. They paid the principal on time, on schedule. No one was harmed. This is all fraudulent by Letitia James. She's a fraud. Sorry, that's the voice there. She's a fraud. Letitia James. She is a demon operative who tried to get the President of the States to who campaigned with the sole objective of getting the President of the States. That was her campaign. I would get Donald Trump. Of course, she had nothing to get him on until this fictitious story was cooked up by Trump's former, one of his many attorneys, this little slime ball that he let go, who lied about Trump under oath and then claimed things about Trump that weren't true. And so used that lie as the basis for their case, and then they had a corrupt judge oversee the case, and they came up with something that clearly violates the Constitution. So basically, they tied up $175 million to Donald Trump's personal wealth so he couldn't run for president. Well, they lost, and it's time to round them up and prosecute them all for their crimes. Snow in Cape Town. The birds are laughing at me? Sounds like they are. What's wrong, Anna? Sound is acting up. The sound is terrible. Okay, I don't know why you can't hear me properly. Well, let me see what I can hear. Well, it must be my signal if everyone else is breaking up. Well, it must be my signal if everyone else is breaking up. Yeah, it's my sound. It's on my end. You're right. The data is being lost. All right. Well, I guess the answer there is I have to end this stream then. Yeah, the seagull's interfering. Yeah, it's on my end, guys. It's not you. It's definitely on my end. All right. Well, I guess the answer there is I have to end this stream then. Yeah, it's definitely, it's better now. Is it better? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I don't know what it was. Yeah, it's maybe the phone picked up all the noise from the birds and it was chopping up the sound because it cuts out background sound. That's probably what it was. Okay, so the sound's better. Okay. Geez, my ears drive me nuts here. So it must have been the birds making all that noise. Bastards. Okay. Geez, my ears drive me nuts here. So it must have been the bird. Yeah, it's the birds, man. The frickin' birds. See, I told you the birds. These are ANC birds, man. They're ANC birds. They're ANC birds. You know, ANC seabirds. Yeah, they're flying over the lake. They've come in here to spy on me. Please don't go. Oh, you can hear the song? Great. I'm going to get a copyright strike if it's a song. Running interference. Yeah, the birds are running interference. Yep, they do. Please don't go, says Super D. Okay, I'm still here. Shithawks. It's the shithawks of the Lake District. We go now live to Lake District with our friend Peter Rabbit. Peter, what's the word? Well, Chris, I understand that there's shitbirds flying down here. It's shithawks. Shithawks. Really, I'm not familiar with shithawks, Peter. Can you tell us about them? Yes, shithawks are the inhabitants of the Lake District. They used to harass Beatrix Potter when she was busy writing books. Well, thank you, Peter. My guest co-host, Peter Rabbit, talking about the shithawks. The birds are in the program, huh? Okay, they sure are. Okay, it's not the birds. It's the data. Okay. Yeah, it's British internet. What do you want me to do, guys? If I switch over to Wi-Fi, I bet you I'll lose the connection. Sound is screwed again. Let me try to switch over to Wi-Fi. See what happens, okay? First off, let me stop this so I'm not interfering with the signal, okay? I mean, 60 gigabytes. So let's try the Wi-Fi. Okay. Let's try. Oh, now I'm sideways. Now I'm sideways. What the heck happened here? What the hell happened here? There we go. Are we still here? All right, I switched to the Wi-Fi and I lost 40 people. What the hell? And I got someone else backing into my car down here. Good God, I'm gonna get hit tonight before it's all over. These idiots coming down this road. All right, let's see. Is that better? All right, well, I lost 40 people, 60, 70 people. What the hell, man? What the hell? Doesn't make any sense. What the hell, man? What the hell? All right, so we're at 302. We're back to 302. Did people disappear when I switched over? I switched to the Wi-Fi. Okay, 5x5. Okay, I'm on the Wi-Fi now instead of the network. I was on the network for that whole hour, 12 minutes, so much better. I didn't leave. Audio is good. Okay, good. All right, now we're cooking with Sterno again. Okay, loud and clear, says Tanya. Thank you very much for that. Anyway, yeah. So where were we at? We were talking to Peter Rabbit. I thought maybe the birds, but some people were leaving. I don't know why. Back to 321. Ludwig is there. Hey, Ludwig, how's it going? All right, so let me just get to some of this news that we haven't gotten around to, guys. Okay, so first off, let me see if anything's broken since I did this. John Steenhuis intervened to save a dog. Parliament asked to step in after News 24 exposed another dodgy CETA appointment. Can somebody step in and expose News 24? Ask them to go. Available for members. Schwane wants to demolish. Oh, well, that's the video I've already produced. Oh, my goodness. So he beats me because I went live. I bet you Ronaldo came on my video at the beginning, was here, heard that I did a video, and he rushed to make a video to beat me. You watch. You watch. I bet you. ANC counselor's assistant shot dead just before Justice Minister's visit. What the heck? More violence in South Africa. 47-year-old woman shot dead in New Bright in Port Elizabeth Thursday morning, minutes before the arrival of Justice Constitutional Development's Kubaya. Police said the woman who worked as assistant one of the ANC counselors in the Bay was attacked while waiting outside a house at 8 a.m. Approached by unknown suspects who fired several shots and was declared dead on the scene. Good gosh. This is insane. Just insane. Absolutely insane. So Sabia wants to go back to work. Deputy National Police Commissioner for Crime Detection Shadrach Sabia was ordered to stay home pending investigation last month, but now he's going to go to court to get reinstated. He has no ground to stand on. Renault is the next politician. Hey, Flesh, and what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. You're right. They couldn't be ANC shithawks because they're operational. When are you having dinner? I don't know. Hey, Katie, Peter Rabbit is great. Yeah, Ronaldo stole my video. Anyway, so please, all you guys go watch it. At least give me a couple views on it. Yeah, anyway, so that's what's going on with Sabia. And so the story I talked at the beginning of this, and I've already made the video, and again, here it is, guys. I'll play it here. So,
except that headline is a lie by omission. Kleinfontain is not a whites-only settlement. It's an Afrikaner settlement. I'm white, and I may not reside there. Personally, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Section 235 of the South African Constitution acknowledges the right of a community with a common cultural and language heritage to self-determination within a territorial entity in the Republic or in another way determined by national legislation. And so they're within their rights. So Kleinfontain is not in the wrong here. They're on the side of the angels. In harassing them, the city of Shwane is on the side of evil.
Yeah, remember, so I made that video already, and now I'm going to be an also rant, even though I was first to do it, but apparently I'm not the first to publish. Shame. Anyway, I've been wanting to do a story about Kleinfontain for a couple weeks as things developed here. They already demanded that they pay rates for services they don't deliver. So, yeah. We'll watch videos fighting with my dissertation that never ends saga. Okay. Say hi to Belinda from Carlisle. To Belinda Carlisle, or to Belinda is in Carlisle. Belinda Carlisle, of course, the musician from the Go-Go's, and then she had a solo career. But hello, Belinda. I think Garrett's trying to be funny. Still kept out of the spotlight. What's going on, Dylan? Oh, mine will be available for everybody. Ha ha ha. Yeah, but his will be available for members for a short time. Then it'll be available to everybody. So I got to beat him in that. Got to beat him. With the rednecks. There are no rednecks here, man. Not many white people here at all. Not many English at all. It's lots of other people here. Yep. Anyway, so Kleinfontain, we'll cover that story. And then, good evening. I already covered the Josh Masevny story. That's one I talked about. Then Professor Gumeda wrote an op-ed, which I haven't read. Let's take a look at that. Dominant aspects of South Africa's national political and subcultures are toxic, anti-development, anti-democratic, and undermine social peace. Countries have national cultures which include dominant shared collective behaviors, attitudes, values, beliefs, and similar ways organizations have organizational cultures. National cultures determine what citizens see as accepted behavior for themselves. Countries' national culture is almost like a national personality. National cultures become collective or communal as a result of how citizens are socialized. South Africa is one of the most diverse countries in the world. Okay. Anyway, he's going on here. So Professor Gumeda really writes some good stuff. So I need to read this. The embrace of racial, ethnic, or language diversity is a key part of the political culture of countries such as Mauritius and Switzerland. Switzerland has 4 languages with a mix of different traditions, values, and customs. Mauritius is also described as a rainbow nation and as a multi-ethnic, multilingual, plural democracy. Yeah, well, let's see. I'll have to read that when I get a chance. That's a long op-ed, boy. He's talking about resetting the national dialogue. He said it's a mess. An Eastern Cape attorney was struck from the role after scandalously writing the judgment in her own client's case. The Eastern Cape Division of the High Court was ordered that attorney Zoleka Poanane be struck from the role after she convinced the magistrate to let her write the judgment in a case in which she was representing a number of men against the Minister of Police. Why wasn't the judge relieved? That's what I want to know. South African Legal Practice Council seceded its application to have attorney Zoleka Poane struck from the role. She's based in Komani. Why isn't the judge removed? I mean, if he let her do that, I mean, come on, man. Non-South Africans don't qualify for entire healthcare package, says Delomo. Chairperson of the Parliament's Health Portfolio Committee has told MPs non-South Africans are only entitled to emergency medical service at public health facilities, not the full package of comprehensive health care provided to South Africans. Not according to the Constitution. Not according to the Constitution. Dr. Sibongiseni Dlomo addressed committee members after videos trend on social media. When we look at the preamble of our Constitution, it talks about South Africa belonging to all who live in it. That part is important and ought to be respected, but the conclusion from the National Health Insurance public hearings was that the country should provide emergency services to all, and that's binding in terms of UN rules. UN rules are UN rules. You're a sovereign state. I love how the EFF and others talk about how it's a sovereign state, but when it comes to things that you've got to pay for, suddenly you're not a sovereign state. You adhere to UN rules. The UN is not a government. You morons that think UN has sovereignty over you, you're fools. You're absolute fools. Absolute fools. Let me find this. Oh, God, shoot. I hate signing into X. It's such a pain in the ass. On the web, I'm talking about, not on your phone. Well, I don't know my password off the top of my head, so we're screwed that. Gonna have to use it on my phone now. God bless, it just got very bright. Here comes the sun again. I'm gonna have to switch around the other side, but then I'm looking into the sun, so let me do this here. Bring that over here so you guys don't get blinded by the light. Wrapped up like a deucer in the ruiner of the night. I don't even know what the words of that song were. Okay, so I want to go to X here real quick because I want to look at this thing from the EFF. Oh, here it is. Where'd it go? Actually, I think I saved it. I don't have to go to X to do it. So, what the heck is that? Where'd that come from? My goodness. Must be something somebody sent me. I don't want recents. I want downloads. Man, people send so much crap. Where the hell's that? Is it WhatsApp download? Twitter? This is annoying how you can't find things here. Now I can't find it because of where it put it at, so it's not in the right place. Damn it, I had this. So now I've got to go to X and find EFF. Hate that. EFF. There we go. It comes up first. So they did a publishing today. Where's this letter at? Gosh, how many things have they put out today? They were complaining about... That's not it. Well, they're putting out all kinds of letters. Here it is. EFF statement on the United States interference. God bless. I thought it was nighttime here, man. It's evening. 6:30, and now it's brighter than it's been the entire day. EFF statement on the United States interference in South Africa's relations with Iran and Ramaphosa's interference with the military. South Africa must not succumb to bullying and intimidation from the United States. We must continue to engage freely with Iran and all other nations we choose to without reducing our foreign policy to the emotions of Donald Trump or any other American president. Okay, EFF, you're a bunch of twits. Let's go ahead and read this statement from them. Whoops. So there you go, folks. There's the EFF statement there. Okay. It's today. Economic Freedom Fighters notes the recent reports the United States government has expressed great concern is demanding clarity. No, they didn't demand anything, you moron. They requested clarity. From South Africa regarding the visit by the chief of South African National Defense Force, General Budzane Mapanywa, to the Islamic Republic of Iran. We reject with contempt this arrogant posture by the United States, which presumes that South Africa owes its explanations for its sovereign diplomatic and military engagements. Equally, we are appalled by our government's interference with the work of the military. This is conduct on becoming a constitutional state. All right, so, these people are pretty stupid, and I'm just going to have to point out how stupid the EFF is. First off, they claim to be living in a democracy and that it's inappropriate for the government to oversee the military. Excuse me? In a democracy, the government does oversee the military. Civil control of the military is a hallmark of a democratic state. Oh, my goodness. South Africa is an independent nation. We reserve the right to pursue trade, economic, diplomatic, military relations with whomever we deem fit, including Iran. Yes, that's correct. You're welcome to it. But if you think it comes consequence-free, you're a moron. Of course, we're talking about the EFF, so we are talking about morons in general. But if you think your actions are consequence-free, they're not. That's one reason why you don't get $500 million a year in foreign aid anymore, because of the consequences of your abysmal behavior. So you can talk a big game there, EFF. You don't even run the government. You're just a bunch of twits at the sideline and run around in prison suits in Parliament and act the fool. South Africa, with Iran, belongs to a grouping of the BRICS countries that collaborate on social, political, and military matters. Actually, that's a lie. This is how stupid the EFF is. The BRICS doesn't cooperate on military matters. They have no agreements. The fact that a Russian Chinese ship sailed off the coast with a South African ship on an exercise to thumb their nose at the West doesn't make that a military agreement. You don't cooperate in military matters. That's a one-off. Enemies of the United States, whoops, zoomed out on me here. Enemies of the United States, where the hell did that go? Do not automatically constitute themselves as enemies of South Africa, nor will our engagements be dedicated by their shifting hostilities. This particular engagement with Iran was well planned before current tensions dating back to 2024 and cannot be dismissed on the basis of temporary geopolitical disputes between the United States and Iran. Again, these morons are missing the point. It has nothing to do with the visit. See, this is the problem. This is how stupid they are. It's because the interference run by Minister 30%, muddying the waters for the stupid people that don't understand how the world works. It's not about that. It's not about whether they went to Iran. That's stupid. Yes, it is. And the United States would like an explanation for why that happened amidst the negotiations with the U.S. over a terror state, a state that sponsors Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. 3 terror organizations have murdered more people than you can shake a stick at. And Iran sponsors them. They pay them. They give them money to murder people. And EFF is in league with them and wants South Africa in league with them. So yes, the U.S. is concerned about that, and it's our prerogative to ask questions. It's your prerogative not to answer them, South Africa. That's your prerogative, but it's our prerogative to ask questions. We didn't demand anything. The only demand here is coming from these fools in red jumpsuits. And you're missing the whole point of the issue. The issue isn't whether he went to Iran. The issue is what he said in Iran, usurping diplomatic authority, which he doesn't have. And these idiots don't get that. The hypocrisy of the United States is laid bare by its audacity to question South Africa's sovereign choices. We don't question your choices, dipshit. Pay attention to what's actually said. The same United States openly provides billions of dollars in military aid to Israel, a settler colonial regime engaged in genocide against the people of Palestine. There's no such place as Palestine. There's Arabs who live in the Middle East and live in Israel. Yep. And to Ukraine in its conflict with Russia, a nation with which South Africa maintains friendly relations. So the fact that the U.S. would give money to Ukraine, who was illegally invaded by Russia, is problematic for the EFF. Again, I'm not a supporter of Zelensky, but this is ridiculous. At no point has South Africa demanded an explanation or threatened its relations with the United States for arming those who kill and oppress our allies. Actually, that's exactly what South Africa has done. That's exactly what South Africa has done. By going to the International Court of Justice for a fraudulent non-genocide case that doesn't meet the threshold for the legal definition of genocide, that's exactly what South Africa did. By doing naval exercise with China and Russia off the coast of South Africa, that's exactly what South Africa did. By sending a racist ambassador to Washington who insulted the President of the United States while serving a accredited diplomat in Washington, D.C., and insulting Americans, calling America racist, that's exactly what South Africa did. So, Julius Malema, you and your EFF are fools. Yet they presume that they can police our engagement with Iran. No, we don't. We just ask you for an explanation. Again, you don't have to answer it. And get ready for the consequences. A sovereign state which has consistently stood on the side of the Palestine and the oppressed. No. They've not stood on the side of the oppressed. They've murdered women and children. That's what Iran does. They murder homosexuals, they murder women, they murder children. It's now clear why President Ramaphosa distanced himself from this visit, presenting it as the chief of the SANDF had gone rogue. Actually, Ramaphosa didn't say much of anything. Mangwenya said something. Ramaphosa said nothing. In reality, he sought to downplay the engagement, anticipating America's displeasure and bending once more to the need to appease Donald Trump. Ramaphosa has done nothing to appease Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, South Africa keeps poking Donald Trump in the eye. These people are stupid. This cowardly behavior is consistent with behavior he displayed when he was in the Oval Office, unable to assert South Africa's independence in the face of imperial arrogance. Imperialness. Read the bugger off bunny there, Malema. You people are so fucking stupid. So stupid. It's painful to even say the phrase EFF. You're so stupid. So stupid. It's unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Ramaphosa's actions expose a leadership that is timid and incapable of defending the dignity of our nation. Well, I don't disagree with that sentence. The most concerning issue in this regard is the apparent political interference with the military by the president and his executive. Excuse me. You're saying that the democratically elected government of South Africa is interfering with the military. You do realize, you dingbat doorknobs, that the military is answerable to the democratically elected civil government of South Africa, not the other way around. See, this is what tin pot fake toy soldiers do. They think the military should be in charge. They think the military is the ultimate authority. They think the military is the answer. It's not. Having served 36 and a half years in uniform, the role of the military is to defend rights, not to assert them. Not to assert them. The EFF reaffirms its support for Iran's right to self-defense. Nobody cares. Against imperialist aggression. Well, the imperialist aggression is South Africa. You want to talk about imperial aggression? Who invaded Comoros 3 times? South Africa. Who invaded Lesotho twice in the 1990s? South Africa. Who invaded the Central African Republic? South Africa. Who sent peacekeepers to Burundi for 12 years? South Africa. Who sent peacekeepers to the Congo for the past 30 years? South Africa. Who's the imperialist nation here? Who lords over the South African Customs Union? South Africa. Imperialism? Who pushed its will in the African Union to get the Secretariat, to get someone out of town because you couldn't stand and Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma? South Africa. Not the United States. The imperial power here is South Africa. They're the regional imperial power. South Africa must not succumb to bullying or intimidation from the United States. We must continue to engage freely with Iran and all the nations we choose without reducing our foreign policy in the emotions of Donald Trump and the American president. General Rudzani Mapwanya, the chief of the SANDF, must firmly reject any attempts by politicians to control our army. Seriously? The general must reject any attempts by politicians to control the army? What exactly is Julius Malema and the EFF calling for here? A coup? Are you calling for a coup? Is that what you're saying? The military supersedes the civil government of South Africa? Is that what you're trying to say? EFF? Really? I mean, because that's what you're saying here. What a bunch of asshats. Yeah, South Africa's gone. If this is the level of discourse that these people can be allowed to spew this sort of propaganda. His primary constitutional responsibility is to safeguard the people of South Africa, not to appease political agendas. No, that's not his primary function. His primary function is territorial defense of the country under the civil leadership of the civilian government. Now is the crucial moment for the SANDF forces to assert their presence. Now is the critical moment for them to assert their presence. Particularly South Africa grapples with a leadership crisis, contributing to soaring levels of poverty, rampant corruption, alarming unemployment rates, and a rising cost of living. This isn't new. It included you when you were in the ANC Youth League, Julius Malema. This is going to be a video, folks, but not here with the birds. I got to find a quiet place to do this. I can't do this crap here. It's too noisy. Too noisy. Anyway. Oh, gosh. The EFF, these people are so dumb. I mean, I didn't know people could be this dumb. Really. I didn't know they could be this dumb. What was that? I just got an email. Someone sent me a message here. Anyway. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. They're dumb. Dumb as a box of rocks. Anyway. 446 likes. Cool beans. Hour and a half, folks. Coup is beyond the EFF's mental capacity. Yep. The rock goes straight through. I have to go to work. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. We did do an hour and a half. Thanks for being here. While I'm still here, so I may do another video in the morning. I'll try to use the Wi-Fi here, okay? 1% party. Yeah, last night I had trouble with the Wi-Fi here. That's why I gave up on it. So, 30 million people. Yep. All right, thanks. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you for being here. Apologize if I missed any comments or important. Thanks for the super chat money that came in. You guys take care. And look for my video on Kleinfontain. I'm editing it right now. It'll be up shortly, okay? Probably within a half hour at the latest. Thanks, guys. Be safe. Have a good night. God bless.